So we're gonna call today day one of my hair oiling experiment. Rosemary oil is actually one of the most effective oils that has been tested to help with hair growth. You need to dilute it with a carrier oil. So what a carrier oil is, not all hair trends are gonna work for all hair types. And this is because that we all have different hair types. And then I'm gonna give you a really quick tutorial on how to wash it out because that's also super duper important. Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Megs and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today is another hair related video and I have this really deep soft spot for anything hair care related. I love sharing, I love learning about anything that has to do with hair care. For those who are new here, I battled stage 4 cancer when I was 22 years old. I'm 26 now, and so I lost all my hair due to chemo when I was 22, and that was a very, very hard experience in itself, completely going bald. I used to have really long blonde hair, and so I kind of became, I don't want to say obsessed, but a little bit obsessed with hair care and growing back my hair after I was finally done treatment and able to start regrowing it. I shared a lot of that here on my channel. So I shared a lot of different updates at different periods of growing my hair back, along with the different products that I was using. I also shared different kinds of hair care routines that I was doing and different products that I was using to help with hair growth. So I've shared a lot of my hair journey online here, and as of recently I kind of didn't. I guess life got in the way, and hair care, I just kind of let my hair grow. I wasn't really focusing on it as much until this hair oiling trend came along. So yes, I found it on TikTok, probably like all of us did, and I really wanted to try it out for myself. So there have been other hair care trends that I have tried in the past. I tried the rice water hair trend and I was gonna do a video on it, but I never ended up doing it. But that really was not good for my hair. Not all hair trends and things are good for all hair, and that is because of your hair type, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So I love using oils for my hair. I love using coconut oil as a hair mask for my hair. I would use it every so often. I have a few videos on that as well, and I found it to be very good for my hair and my hair type. But when this hair oiling thing came along, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about putting hair oil in my roots often. I don't know. Is this gonna help me still be able to go 5 days in between washes? Is this gonna work for my hair? Is this gonna work for my routine? So in today's video, I'm going to share all of that. So we're gonna call today day one of my hair oiling experiment. So I'll do a little, I guess, before to show you how long my hair is. This is also day 5 hair, so it's not looking too great right now. I did get a haircut 2 days ago, just a little trim to even out my ends. So my hair is right here. I'm gonna see if this helps my hair health, if it helps my hair grow. I always love trying new things to see how hair growth goes. So essentially how I plan to do this is I wash my hair in the morning, and I usually wash my hair twice a week. So the night before my hair wash morning, I'm going to do this, just leave it in overnight, and then I'll sleep on it for 8 hours and then wash it out, so that way it has time to kind of soak into my hair and into my scalp. The products I'm going to be using for now, I don't know, maybe if I run out I'll try something new, but for now, for my scalp, I'm using the scalp treatment by Today's Apothecary. I'm going to tag her Instagram below, but she makes these oils. She's actually a cancer survivor as well, and she created these oils for her own hair growth, and it is a blend of just all the best hair oils. So it's a blend of coconut oil, of sweet almond oil, black seed oil, amla oil, rosemary oil, peppermint oil, and cedarwood bark oil. And I'm just gonna put this on my scalp. It smells so good, and it's a nice little convenient dropper. And then for the lengths of my hair, for now I'm going to be using the Argan Magic Intensive Hair Oil. This I find usually at a Marshalls and a Winners. They always have them in stock, and so this is just gonna be for the lengths of my hair. So I actually ran out of the stuff that I was using, so this is the one that I was using for my scalp. And what I did is I actually just kept this dropper bottle just because it's really convenient for application for the scalp, and I'm going to make my own oil for the scalp, and I'll show you exactly what I'm using because it's super easy to make and you can totally make it at home for yourself. As I've been watching more TikToks and learning more about hair oiling, I've learned that rosemary oil is actually one of the most effective oils that has been tested to help with hair growth. So I of course, had to go get some rosemary oil. So this is just a rosemary essential oil. However, you can't put this directly on your scalp because it will cause severe irritation and stuff like that because it is just such a potent oil. So you do need to dilute it with a carrier oil. That being said, there are already some like pre-made hair oils with rosemary on them. I've seen a few on Amazon and stuff like that. So if you kind of want the job done for you and you want to buy already like a pre-diluted hair oil ready with rosemary infused into it, you can totally do that. But in case you want to do it at home for yourself, you need to dilute it with a carrier oil. So what a carrier oil is, it's just a type of oil that will help kind of like dilute the essential oil and like be able to transfer it so it is safe to put on your skin or on your hair or anywhere else you'd like to use it. So usually skin and hair. A lot of common ones are argan oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil. I picked up this one at the store. So this is a very common brand that I'm sure a lot of you have seen before. So this is an argan oil. This isn't like pure argan oil. This does have other stuff added into it, but I did want to show you that this is one thing that you can use just because A, this is budget friendly, and B, I was honestly too lazy to go find a different argan oil, and I really wanted to try out argan oil because it's worked really well for my hair in a long time. I think what I'm gonna do is fill up probably a quarter of the way with the rosemary oil, and then I'm gonna add the rest in to be my argan oil. So this might take a minute here, but it's just transferring in. Have the bottle filled up. I have like this much, so you can definitely see like the sticky from the label, but this much rosemary oil, and then I'm gonna throw in the rest with this argan oil here. That's full, and I'm just going to mix it up. I love the smell of essential oils. So now I have this really nice hair oil that I'm just gonna use in my scalp. Not all hair trends are gonna work for all hair types, and this is because that we all have different hair types. But when it comes to hair type, it's not just like one thing. Hair types are like a whole entire world, okay? So you have your hair, hold on, I have notes here because like I don't wanna get this wrong, I'm not a hair expert. You have your scalp type, you have your hair thickness, your hair density, and then you have your hair porosity. So I am no expert in that kind of stuff. I'm gonna leave 2 really good videos in the description box below. They're by the hair queen herself, Abbey Yung. So she has one video about that, she talks about hair types, and then another video she talks about hair porosity. They're both really, really, really good and very informative. So I'm gonna leave them in the description box so you can watch them and figure out for yourself what kind your hair type is. I have normal scalp, so I don't have an oily scalp or dry scalp, it's just like average. Fine hair, normal density, and then medium to high porosity hair. So that's important for the different treatments that you try for your hair, also the different oils that you're gonna use for your hair. Okay, and now to explain what I do now, what works for me, and my like perfect routine for my hair type. What I actually learned throughout this journey is how much hair oiling has helped the health of my hair. I mentioned it before, but it adds so much moisture to my hair. It makes my hair feel so good, especially my ends. Now with work, with the weather, with it being very cold outside, I do just naturally use heat more often because I don't have the luxury of letting my hair air dry before I go to work, and I also can't leave the house with wet hair when it's insanely cold outside because A, that's terrible for your hair, but B, I run the risk of getting sick, which I don't want to do. And so I found that adding that much moisture from the oiling to my hair has been super good. I've also noticed that my hair has grown a ton. Maybe you can't tell from the beginning of the video, but to me, my hair has grown a lot, and I can see it because of my roots. Because I decided not to get my roots redone. I've been getting highlights for like the last year or 2. I decided not to get my roots redone recently because I wanted to basically help my hair grow and just give it that extra time to grow longer before refreshing the blonde, because obviously bleaching your hair is not good for it. And although they're not the most apparent roots in the world, I can tell by like how much lower they're getting, especially in photos, that my hair is growing. So for me, that's been working really well, but in saying that, it has taken me a while to find the oils that I like. So the oils that you saw in those clips are actually not the oils I'm using right now. I found an even better mixture that is just like my favorite because it just works really well for my hair and my hair type. So again, I said I had medium to high porosity hair, and the oil, the carrier oil that I've been using is jojoba oil, and I mixed that with a little bit of rosemary oil. So I found that that argan oil that I used, although it is a great drugstore affordable product that you can purchase, I just found that I really didn't like the consistency of it. I didn't like how my scalp felt. It just felt like it almost like, I don't want to say it carried oil because like I washed it out really well, but it just felt like I didn't like the feeling of it. I didn't like, the consistency. It felt super liquidy. It was very, very messy to use. So it might work for some, but just for me, it wasn't ideal for something that I was going to use consistently. So I decided to try jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is non-comedogenic, which means that it doesn't clog pores. So it's really good for scalps that might actually even be oilier, just because it doesn't clog it. And then sometimes for my ends, if I do want a little bit more, I will just add the argan oil or just plain coconut oil into my ends, because for my ends it was fine. It was just for my scalp I didn't love it. What I would suggest doing is watching Abbey Young's videos, finding out what your hair type is, and then looking into what oils, what carrier oils are good for that particular hair type. Now let's get on to my ideal perfect oiling routine. Also, before I spill all my bottles here, this brand of oils is Cligenic. Sorry, I'm not saying it right. It's really, really good, and it's available on Amazon, I think in Canada, in the United States, everywhere. So it's a very accessible brand of oils, and it comes in pretty nice sizes. So just as a brand, if you're looking for a brand to use, I love this one. I've ordered a few different oils from this brand, and it's really, really good. I'll leave a link to this in the description box, but if you're looking for a brand that you want to easily buy on Amazon, Cligenic is a good one to try. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the routine that I've developed for myself, which again works really, really well for me, and I personally really love and has been giving me the results that I want from hair oiling. Like I said, wash my hair every 4 to 5 days, and so this is day 4. Like, you can tell it's oily at the roots, but the ends are pretty nice. And so I love to do this before I go to bed. Now, another thing that I need to mention is how often should you be oiling your hair? And this is again something that really depends on your hair type. For some people, it would be good to do it every time they wash their hair. For some people, it's good as a treatment. I think it's something you just need to try for yourself and see how your hair reacts, see what works for your schedule, see what you like. And then the other component of that is how long do you keep the oil in your hair. For some people, 1 hour is enough, 1 hour is plenty. After that, they need to wash it out. And their scalp might get irritated or something from having it in for too long. For others, like for myself, I keep it in overnight, and I typically just find really good results for that. It works for my schedule really well. And I also just find that my scalp doesn't have any negative reactions towards it. Again, I'm using jojoba oil, which is non-comedogenic, which doesn't clog your pores. So that's another thing to consider. And again, it's just something that's like, experiment on yourself, see what works for you, and then kind of stick with that. Or you might need to try a variety of different things. So that's just kind of my little spiel about that. But the first thing that I do is put on a top that you don't really care if you get oil on, because the first few times you do it, it might get messy. Some people like to section their hair. I find that my hair is fine enough that I don't need to. But if you would like to make it easier for yourself, go ahead. And I start off with my scalp. So this is my little concoction of rosemary oil and jojoba. So again, rosemary oil is known to help promote hair growth, which is why I use it. And jojoba oil is just really good for the scalp and as a carrier oil. So I do just take full drops. And I kind of just repeat the same pattern over and over again. So I start off at my part here, and I kind of just let the oil dropper go. And then I move to another section, and I let the dropper go, and then I kind of refill as I go. I use probably like, I'd say 4 or 5 full droppers on my scalp. But you kind of just want to cover your scalp. You don't want to drown your scalp in oil, but you do want to have it like pretty nicely covered on top. And you don't want to forget the hair at the back or at, the base of your scalp here. So what I do is I kind of just like move my hand around and just blot in there. And now what I do is I'm going to give myself a nice scalp massage, because A, it's really good for your blood circulation. It helps promote hair growth, helps move things around, and it's really good to just spread the oil around. So I'll just take another dropper and I'll put it on my hand, rub it in between my fingers to warm it up, and I just give myself a nice scalp massage. Can you hear Biggie at the door? Sometimes I swear I have a pig. I don't have a dog. Baby. He's like trying to sniff if I'm in here. Okay, so I give myself a nice scalp massage. You want to be gentle, and you want to use this part of your finger. You don't want to use your nails. You want to use like, I don't know, the cushiony part of your finger and go in circular motions. And if you feel like you don't have enough oil, you can definitely get more and then just work it in. And if you have certain areas where you find like you're missing hair and you want some more, like for me, it's always kind of this area right here. I'll just give it a little bit more love. A lot of people also like to flip their head upside down for circulation and give themselves a massage. I personally don't do that, but if you like it, definitely something you can also do. So you want to also be careful not to knot your hair, but you'll kind of find the rhythm that you like once you do this a few times. I do this for like at least a minute, 2 minutes, just to get a really good massage in, but you can do this for longer if you'd like. You can get someone else to do this for you if you'd like. And then once I feel like I kind of got a nice good massage in there, what I do is I just finger comb my hair because I just don't want to get my hairbrush oily. So I'll finger comb my hair, and then I will take, usually lately it's been coconut oil. I love coconut oil for my hair personally. But you can also use the same mixture that you have here. You can use a different oil, castor oil, argan oil, whatever you have available. You can use the same oil, you don't have to use a different one. I just use a different one because I just love coconut oil for the ends of my hair. I used to melt it all the time, so if you want a good video on how to melt it properly, because you can't put it in the microwave, I'm gonna put it up here, wherever. But now sometimes I just take it like in my hands like this. Also, if you live in a warmer climate, it's probably already melted for you, but I'll just take it in my hands and I'll warm it up over the sink, and it doesn't take very long to warm up. You'll see that it'll be nice and oily. I'm literally filming a reel right here, so my phone's right here to film a reel, and then you're right here. So multitasking, baby, work smarter, not harder. And so once it gets to like this nice little oil, I will just run it down my lengths of my hair. So initially I'll kind of just focus on getting it everywhere, and then at the end, I'm just gonna focus on really getting it on the ends because my ends are kind of what need it the most. But again, just take another handful, let it get all nice and oily, and just gently run your fingers through it. And then once I feel like it's nicely coated, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give a little bit of extra love at the end. So I put my hair all to one side, I get a nice handful of oil, and I oil it up at the ends. So what do you do when you're all done with this? So personally, what I would do if I wasn't going to wash it off, like if I'm not going to bed and I'm going to wash it off in a few hours, claw clip it. Claw clip and put it up so that way you are not getting oil anywhere. Your hair shouldn't be super saturated, so it shouldn't be dripping oil because that's when you're using too much oil. You shouldn't be dripping oil anywhere. But if you're going to go to bed and you're gonna wash it out in the morning, what I like to do as a protective hairstyle is I do a really, really loose French braid. I do a really loose French braid, and then I will just tie it up with a scrunchie like this. And you have, again, two options here. Whatever's more comfortable for you. You can either put like a towel, like a microfiber hair towel or something over top of your hair so you don't get your pillow oily. Or what I do, because I found that the microfiber hair towel would fall off quite easily, I just put a towel over top of my pillow. And then I just sleep on that. So that way I don't get oil on my pillow, and that way the towel just gets the oil. Usually not a lot of oil comes off, but just in case, like you don't want to be sleeping on oil the next night, you know? And then I'm gonna give you a really quick tutorial on how to wash it out because that's also super duper important. Okay, washing the oil out of your hair is actually really simple, but you do have to follow a few key steps to make sure that you actually get all of the oil out of your hair. Trust me, this, once you master, is going to be so simple and so easy. You're going to want to put oil in your hair all the time. So first thing you want to do is take your hair out of whatever it was, if it was a braid or in a claw clip, and loosely detangle it with your hands. Now here is the most important part. You need to shampoo your hair before you get it wet. Oil and water do not mix, so if you try to rinse out the oil without any shampoo in your hair, it's not gonna work. So what I do is I usually buy a cheaper drugstore shampoo just because this one you tend to go through faster, so you don't want to use your really nice shampoo for this. So I just use this one, and you're gonna put a pretty nice amount on your hands. You're gonna lather it up in between your hands, and you're going to work it into your hair, specifically the roots. Don't worry about the ends as much, but make sure you definitely get in the roots really well, then you're going to massage it into your hair. And then once you feel like it's really well in there, you're going to get in the shower and you're going to rinse. After that, I will shampoo one more time and condition as usual, and then my hair is good to go. If this is your first time trying this out, maybe do an extra shampoo, so shampoo 3 times just in case. Or if you feel like your hair has a really hard time getting rid of oil, then definitely do it 3 times, but usually twice, once outside of the shower and then once more in the shower. Shampooing is definitely enough for me. And then I just finish off my shower and style as usual. See, it's really not that hard. And that's going to end today's video. So thanks so much for watching. Know yourself, know your body, and until next time.